Hello, welcome to my new subscribers, and thanks John Gruber for linking to my last video. It was a really big surprise, and I appreciate it so much. Welcome daring Fireball readers and podcast listeners and cats. It was really fun to chat with you in the comments, and it was even kind of fun to get dragged on Reddit just a little tiny bit. By the way, you can use the chapter markers in the video to jump to a specific section if you want. Anyway, on to the show. So if you're in the betas, an early version of Freeform is here. Freeform is an app for Mac or iPad or iPhone that lets you brainstorm ideas in something like a digital whiteboard. You can add sticky notes, images, links, and you can draw arrows and shapes to connect everything in a cool way to kind of get ideas out of your head and into something like a mind map. You can even share Freeform boards with others and perform real-time collaboration on a board. Hey, no, hey, second channel Jeff. Were we talking about collaboration? Oh, collaboration. Oh, in Freeform, yeah. Well, you know, it hasn't shipped yet. Oh. Well, when's it gonna ship? Yeah, I don't know when collaboration will ship. It's just not ready. Oh. Well, can I just hang out then? I'm just not ready. No, I understand. Boundaries. Boundaries. Yep. We talked about that. You know, second channel Jeff, why don't you just go back to the second channel and, you know, make a video about comic books or feelings or something. Can I make an animation? Yeah, you can make an animation. Yes, I love making animations. Okay. It's just reminding you, I did include chapter markers, so you could have skipped this. Okay. Freeform is kind of like a stealth addition to the iWork suite. iWork. Does anybody remember iWork? You know, Pages, Numbers, Keynote, all those Apple productivity apps. They're sort of the apps that make up Apple's answer to the Office productivity suite. Freeform fits in really well with these productivity apps. In fact, if you use Mail and Calendar and Notes and Reminders and Pages and Numbers and Keynote and now Freeform, you've got a pretty complete productivity story. And I know this because that's what I do. And I do it because of how well these apps work together, especially when you add in the drag and drop features from iOS. So for example, when my agent sends me an audition, I will drag that email into my calendar, I'll drag that event then into reminders, I'll drag that email back into notes, I'll make an iCloud shared note link and link that back into the notes field in the calendar, and then so on, and everything links to everything else. And I can get to anything from anywhere and get the context that I need about that particular audition. And it's pretty great. So using Apple stuff like that, it lets me build kind of a closed loop system where I can link anything to anything else. And all I have to do is drag stuff around. And the only thing that was missing in my little recursive productivity world was something lightweight and omnivorous. And I want to be able to drag anything into a space that isn't formatted for print like Pages, or isn't spreadsheet focused like Numbers, and isn't slideshow driven like Keynote, but it also isn't as text based as Notes. I've been waiting for something like Freeform to fill this gap. And here it is. So, how do I use it? Okay, we are going to demo Freeform. I've got the iPad here. Let's take a look. All right, start my screen recording. Hello. Maybe I should work over here. So I'm in Freeform. I will hit the compose, and now I get a blank Freeform. So, like you would expect on an iPad, I can tap and I can pull up the standard drawing tools, and I can say, gosh, I have an idea. It's not just an idea, I have a big idea. Big, it looks like a O, big I, oh yeah. Fantastic, here's my big idea. I will give it a little color, the crayon tool. What is cool is that if I wanted to say, really like type out, you know, this is a subset of my big idea. Typing it so you can read it. Hello dear. Right? Hello dear. You want to go work over here? I drew my big idea. I wrote a subset of my big idea in text. I can move it all around however I would like. And I can connect it either with, you know, drawing a regular arrow, or what other shapes can I add? Oh, bendy shape. Okay, so here I have a bendy shape. So let's say I wanted to connect. Oh, okay, things are highlighting. All right, this is cool. I didn't know it did this. So I have my big idea, and you see how it highlights as I kapow. And look, kapow, kapow, kapow. Isn't that neat? Kapow. And now these two things are, I think they're connected. I don't know if they're formally connected. Yes, they are. They're formally connected. Check it out. So I can wiggle this around, which might seem silly, but it's really great if you are trying to, if you have multiple ideas that maybe branch out from each other. And yeah, I guess you could just do like a regular straight line bubble mind map graph thing. But I think it's kind of fun, especially when you're being creative, to sort of let these things be wild and a little all over the place. So if I want this idea connected to my big idea to have this crazy, you know, hook of a line, because that's the energy this idea gives me, which I know sounds like artsy fartsy and weird, but whatever. I can do that. This is not new stuff. There's lots of programs that do this, but I don't care. I like this one. Okay? What else can I add in here? Let's check it out. Photos. Hello. Great, I can pull a photo right from my camera. I'll use it. And I can drop that photo in. And I can then, like before, I can connect it. Thank you. I can connect it to other stuff. So I think, excuse me, madam, it's not like revolutionary technology of itself. It's just fun how it's being used to brainstorm ideas. I think it's kind of cool. You can add sticky notes, right? Sticky notes, again, it's just, what's the difference between a sticky note and an information box or a call out box or this text bubble I made? Well, the difference is it looks like a sticky note. And say what you want about skeuomorphism or whatever, sometimes it's just fun to put a sticky note on something. Like, who cares? Maybe the rest of my freeform board doesn't look so like wild and crazy. Maybe I've like arranged all my photos in a grid and I've made something very cool. And I don't want to mess up my design. So maybe I just want to put a sticky note on it. Doesn't matter. It's just fun that it looks like a sticky note. Now, if this were 2007, it would be in marker felt, but we have progressed some. Although no lie, I kind of enjoyed marker felt. Come at me. I can add, of course, photo from my camera roll. So I will add this little logo, which you've probably seen before. Link, so I can add a hyperlink. Children, have you heard of hyperlinks? Welcome to the internet. I can add a link. Now I don't have to do it this dumb way where I actually like type in a link. You can drag and drop things. We'll get to that in a second. Let's say I just wanted to go to, we'll do YouTube, youtube.com. Insert, great. And it creates this very cool thumbnail. It's the same kind of thumbnail that you see in Notes or that you see when you send a message. It's basically the same thing. It's that really cool thing that Apple does where they do a preview of the link. And what I like is that it looks just like it looks in Messages. It looks just like it looks in Notes. The language of it communicates to me very quickly of, oh, this is a rich preview of a hyperlink. That's really great. A lot of the reasons I like Freeform is so many of the shortcuts and shorthands and the way that it works and the way that it communicates to me as a user is in the scope of the language that Apple already uses to sort of communicate to the user. Maybe you've heard of like the HIG, the Human Interface Guidelines. I don't know that this is like adhering strictly to that or anything, because even Apple doesn't adhere very strictly to their own user interface guidelines, but I feel like they're at least in the same neighborhood, if not on the same street. What else can I do? I can scan things. So I hit scan, and I can scan something. Let's see. Place the document in view. Well, I just scanned my cat. Keep scan. I don't really think that's what they meant me to do. So we'll scan this, hold it over, get my scan. I'll save the scan. And there it is. So that's my freeform board so far. I've got a bunch of different kinds of stuff just hanging out on this little idea table thing. I could organize it better if I wanted to, or I could just leave it a big mess. And I think that's something that was really missing in these productivity apps is Unstructured Mess, the ability to just sort of sort things out on a pile on a table, if you will. Just take a look at what you've got, draw connections to it, move it around, clean it up and organize it later if you want to, but you're not constrained into things having to be a list or things having to be a spreadsheet grid or things having to fit on a page or things having to fit on a slideshow. So that's Freeform. It's Apple's missing productivity app, and I am glad that they have found it. I'm looking forward to trying Freeform in the real world and trying the collaboration with other creative friends of mine. And I think it's going to be pretty cool when it's finally finished. So that's it. That's the video. If you like the video, please like, and if you want to chat some more, go ahead and leave a comment. And if you want to see some more cats, please subscribe. See you next time.